Hello, welcome back to RetroBreak. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a preview of a new upcoming Game Boy Homebrew game called JetPak DX, made by my friend Quang from AsobiTech. So I thought what better way to show the game off than to actually get him on the video to tell you guys all about it. So it's really good to speak to you today to show off your new JetPak DX game.
Awesome.
I'm really looking forward to playing it. I downloaded the ROM. I haven't had a chance to actually play it yet, so hopefully I'll get a go after this video before it goes live.
Okay.
So, question number one. How did you get started making Game Boy games? I think that'd be a good place to start.
How did I get started? So back in the dark ages, back in 1998, 1999, sort of that time, I went to university to do computer science. I found it really, really boring, to be honest. And in my spare time, I was making games anyway. And they had just released something called GBDK, which is Game Boy Development Kit, which is a open source freeware set of tools to let you program Game Boy games in C language. And I picked that up. I learnt C, and I just ran with that, and I fell in love with it. I always loved the Game Boy, and then I fell in love making games for the Game Boy, and it was wonderful.
Brilliant. I have tried GBDK. I couldn't get my head around it, but I imagine at the time it was a lot better than the alternatives for Game Boy programming.
Yes, so the only other ways to do it were to use the official tools, which cost thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
And there was an assembly language tool out there called Redneck's Game Boy Development Studio, but my assembly language is very poor, to say the least.
Great. So I would love to talk to you more about this maybe in the future, but
For sure.
For now, I know that the original version of JetPak DX that you made was for a coding competition.
Yeah.
For the Game Boy, was it? Is that right?
Indeed, yeah. So back in the early days, there was a company called Bung, B-U-N-G. They were flash carts for the Game Boy. And the main reason you would get a flash cart for the Game Boy is so you could do Homebrew and play it on the real hardware. And they decided to, as part of a promotional thing to sell more flash carts, they did a coding competition. I had just started learning Game Boy's coding there, so this was actually my first full Game Boy Color game I made, and I managed to do pretty well. I came in second place for a Bung coding competition, so that was fun.
Brilliant. I do have some of your other games here. I was wondering if you thought I'd bring these up. There they are.
Amazing.
Yeah, so did you work on these after you'd built the original
Exactly.
JetPak DX? And
So yeah, Jetpack DX did pretty well. It got spread around the internet pretty fast because it's obviously free and open, people really enjoyed it. A gentleman saw the game and then offered me a job to make Game Boy games for a living. They had just got the contract to make Revolt, an old racing game that was on PC, PlayStation, and N64, I think. And
Dreamcast.
And Dreamcast, yeah, of course, the Dreamcast. Yeah. And they got the license to do the Game Boy port to it, so he wanted to hire me to do that for him. I did a small mock-up of a racing game in one night. I sent it off to him, and he said, "Yep, it's cool. You got the job." So I went and did that, and we did that for about 6 months before burning it. Before the project got cancelled, basically. They handled all the times. Yeah. So Revolt never came out on Game Boy, but then we did go on to make Lego Stunt Rally and a few other things.
Brilliant. So I won't ask you any more questions about all them. Let's keep on the topic of Jetpack for this one.
Sure.
So I suppose, why did you decide originally to remake Jetpack? I mean, obviously it's a famous game from the Spectrum days, but I'd never played it on the Spectrum. So my first time playing it actually was on Rare Replay.
Okay, yeah.
On the Xbox One, but I did really enjoy it, and it seems like you did a really good port as well. So I guess, why did you choose that game to do a port? And then the next question is, why did you decide to bring back your original Jetpack game and remake it these days to sell online, or to give away as well, I suppose?
So the idea between Jetpack was, it was actually the first Spectrum game I ever played. It was at a friend of the family's house. They had Spectrum, and they had Jetpack, and it's the first Spectrum game I played, and it just blew me away and captivated me how smooth, how arcade-like it was on his home computer. And I fell in love with the game since then. So when I got to making Game Boy games, when you're learning to do something, you don't really want to spend time thinking of new ideas. You want to know what you have to make, and then make that. It makes it a lot easier, the process is a lot easier that way. And so I felt what would be great to make for the Game Boy, the old Spectrum game, Jetpack. So we did that.
Excellent, that makes sense.
And for the second part, why did I bring it back? for a remake. Well, again, long story in that the other games I made for the other company when I got the job, they were released. So we have Lego Stunt Rally, we have Race Time and ATV Racing. They all have my code in them, but I'm not in the credits because I left the company before they were released. So I just kind of wanted a game with my name in the credits, and I felt Jetpack DX could have been a lot more because obviously it was my first game. I didn't know much about the system, and I thought I could improve on it and make it what it should have been back then. So making it come full circle, I think by re-releasing it now, it means it makes 19-year-old Quang a lot more happier. You can have a game with his name, in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and a full box and instruction manual and everything to go along with it.
Oh, for sure. I had to do this correctly. There's no way I could just release this as a ROM. As a big collector myself, there's something to be said about having the box and the manual to go with it.
Yeah, it's really important, and it's so cool that you can get new Game Boy games these days as well. I just love that. It seems to be coming back in a big way recently.
For sure. There's a huge homebrew market at the moment, not just for the Game Boy, but for many systems, and it's great to see all the games coming out for the old systems.
Yeah, it really is. I've been enjoying playing them quite a lot. So the next question that I had lined up, I think you just started covering it. So what's the difference now between this new version and the original? Like, what improvements have you made to the game?
For sure. So I looked at what the game is and what the game could be. So what we've done, we've added a few new variations on the levels, because I've watched video replays and people will always seem to be a little upset that it's the same level over and over again, and that's just how it was. So originally I just tried to mimic the original Jetpack as much as possible, but with Super Jetpack DX, we wanted to add more to it and make it super. So we've got 4 different levels. We have a bunch of new graphics. We've got the one for the Zombie Workshop came in, do a bunch of new graphics for it, different enemies, and we gave it power-ups now. So you have weapons, you have Spitfire, you have a little drone, and different pickups and stuff, and just to make the game a bit more fuller. We've got different difficulty levels as well now, so people find the game very, very difficult to play. So we've got a lot easier, and we've got a hard mode as well, and a medium mode. So yeah. Okay,
cool. Really looking forward to giving it a go. I've been really enjoying your Twitch streams as well. I'm sure you know that. I've been enjoying looking at you programming it all in the background and seeing the amazing pixel art that Zombie Workshop's put together. Yeah. That was really cool to see. So that's all the questions that I had lined up. Do you want to tell people what your plans are for the future about your Twitch channel and stuff like that, and going indie? That'd be interesting.
Sure. So I recently was made redundant from my day job, which is fine. I've been making games in my spare time all the while. But being made redundant from my day job has made me decide, you know what, I'm going to give this game development thing a good try and go full-time game development. So now I stream 3 days a week on Twitch. Twitch channel is QuangDX, QuangDX. On Wednesday I do Coding Club, is where I sit down and code live, and you can watch me and you can comment and you can ask questions and things like that as well. And that's where I've been doing Jetpack DX. Once Jetpack DX is finished, and we're shipping, we're currently on pre-order. Pre-orders will finish on October the 19th. Then we're going to production, and then shipping should be in December if all things go smoothly, which they should. I've given it lots of leeway, and I think it should go well. After Jetpack DX is done, I have to go back to my original indie game, which is a game called Mau Mau Castle, a game about a flying cat dragon. That's for PCs and mobiles, so that needs to be finished and put together. We're also looking at possibly doing it for the Switch, which is a lot of people have been asking for, but we'll see how that goes. After that, who knows, more Game Boy games. I will look at maybe Spectrum Next as well, and a few other things. It's a very exciting time to be in.
Yeah, good luck to you, very exciting.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, you did mention the pre-orders, so I'll put a link in the description so you can go and pre-order that. How long do they have to do that? October?
Yes, October 19th you got.
October 19th, okay.
Yeah.
And this video will be going up on Wednesday morning, so tomorrow morning. So go and check out Quang's Twitch after that to see some coding.
Great. If you see the pre-order, everyone who pre-orders will get a custom ROM, so we'll put your name in the title screen. So in the opening credits, you'll get your name in there. Also, you get put into a prize draw to win a one-off custom Game Boy from RetroFix, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that on Twitter. That really does look cool. So that's it, I think. Thanks for doing that for me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
That's all right, no worries. So I really hope you enjoyed that chat there with Quang. Like I said, the pre-orders are live right now, so I'll put a link in the description so you can go to his site and check it out for yourselves. So now let's take a look at the game itself. So my first impressions of this game are that it is absolutely stunning for a Game Boy Color game. Just the amount of stuff that's going on the screen, the rock solid frame rate and the really fun gameplay. I honestly think Quang has done an incredible job with this game, and I can't wait to get myself a physical version of it. And when I do so, I'm definitely going to make a full video about the game in the future, but until then, enjoy this preview. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this preview of Jetpack DX. That's it for this episode. Please don't forget to comment, subscribe, check out Patreon if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for the next episode. Goodbye!